hit record here. Welcome, guys. This is the third installment of today's third annual Ambition Customer Summit. The best things come in threes, they say. So, and here it is. We are about to kick it off with this wonderful crew. We've got Travis Truett, our CEO, Butler Raines, VP of Product, and we have a very special guest who will be making an appearance towards the end of this presentation. So you do not want to miss it. You want to stick around for the whole thing here. Little housekeeping. We will move into that section now before I stop talking. Recording. I would never ever not record this, and I would never not send you that recording. So after this is over, going to make sure that you get it. So if you have to leave, you won't leave, but if you have to, I got you covered. Q&A type questions here. Also, though, we are encouraging, and I'll share the information here right now. We are encouraging people to join us in a Slack channel and keep the conversation going because we can't be in person and gathering at this moment. We will do it next year, I promise. We are trying to create some networking and fellowship over in the Slack channel. So join me over there. Also, if you want to chat in this Zoom, just make sure that you're chatting with panelists and attendees. There's a little drop down you'll see in the chat box. So do not be shy. Again, Slack it up and use hashtag CS2021 at Ambition Sales on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, if somebody just says something really cool. And again, join us on Slack. Once you click that link in the chat, hop over into CS2021 Lounge. I'll be live tweeting, live texting, live slacking there. And also these guys will hop in there afterwards and answer any questions you might have too. So have a great presentation. Mari, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jamie. Hey, everybody. So happy you're all here joining us for Customer Summit 2021. I'm super excited to be here today to kick off our vision talk and introduce our couple speakers on the line. Over the next 45 minutes, our CEO, Travis Truett, and VP of Product, Butler Raines, will be discussing the future of rep performance management, what it is, what it means to Ambition and our customers, and how we are defining it in real time right now. A quick look at the agenda. We'll start by reviewing the state of the industry, challenges we're all facing, and gaps we're feeling. Then we're going to move into discussing the pillars of rep performance management and how Ambition will be innovating to support those pillars in 2022. Then we'll round off with a fun fireside chat, as Jamie mentioned, with a very special guest, Donna Sanborn from Cisco. So she's waiting in the wings, and we're going to have that at the very end. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Travis, our CEO, to kick off intros. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mari. Pleasure to be with everybody today. The first two sessions, super inspiring. I love that, I continue to learn about our employees and about sales and about, what it looks like to drive results and drive revenue every single day, including from people like Miranda and Nate and Scott and Kelly and everybody. So I'm Travis Truett, founder, CEO of Ambition, and I've got good friend and esteemed colleague Butler Raines with me. Butler.
Hey, everybody. Super excited to be here with you today and presenting with Travis. Butler Raines. I'm the head of product, VP of product engineering here at Ambition, and been here at Ambition about 11 months now, and really excited to share with you how we're thinking about the space and where we're taking our technology.
Great, thank you, Butler. And we'll kick it off. We and I wanted to frame things up with a couple points. And the very first one that I think has never been more relevant is that people don't leave companies, they leave managers. And this is something that I think about both as CEO of Ambition. I think about it internally, and I think about it externally. And I think that this has never been more true. Is we're in the midst of, whether it's real or not, we're in the midst of what everybody's calling the Great Resignation, to the point where on LinkedIn the other day, I literally saw somebody basically say, like, I'm proud to be a member of the Great Resignation. And that's something that I take super seriously because, at the end of the day, Ambition is here to drive employee motivation, recognition, and to help them be a part of something bigger than themselves. And yet, here we are, people don't leave companies, they leave managers. What can we do? What can I do to help people stay? How do we help managers learn how to lead remotely? Whether it's remote, whether it's distributed, hybrid, whatever you want to call it, whether it's just a prolonged transition back into the office. At the end of the day, managers need help. And there's also just a big gap in general, is that when polled, 80% of sales managers say that they're coaching, yet only 40-ish% of salespeople say that they're getting the coaching they need. And so when it comes back to, people leave companies, don't leave companies, they leave managers. Again, never been more true, something that we think about, obsess about, and something we're going to be talking a lot more in regard to what this means for us.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Travis. And I share those similar sentiments. When people ask me why I'm at Ambition, and I mean, Travis and Brian and Jared, the other founders, are all great. We're great people, but my big why is because coaching is the highest leverage activity you could do. That is my personal belief. It's the impact I want to see on the world. It's the kind of software I want to build. I want to build a platform that helps empower the manager to help create consistent, measurable results with those that they manage and the teams that they manage. A way to think about it. So I've been in sales technology for a long time, and a lot of it is activity based. Like, how can I get my SDRs to make more calls or send more emails? And I really think the thing we should be asking is, how can we make their managers and their leaders more efficient and more effective? Because that's how you're going to scale the company, right? If you create these autonomous, high-performing teams that are well coached, that are accountable yet encouraged, and you create this culture of hitting your goals, honestly. And it's really about the quality of that coaching moment. It's that human-to-human interaction where mentoring and learning happens. And so then the employee comes out of the other side and they're super engaged and they're ready to hit their goals, and they're ready to kind of go out and create that culture that we so desperately are seeking, especially in this hybrid world. So while there's so many solutions out there, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute when I talk about the gaps out there focused on the individual contributor and certain roles, we're hyper focused on what we can provide for the leader and the manager and help them empower their direct reports. And so when I think about the space, I mean, if you were to just go, I mean, a lot of us are probably in SaaS. If you just go look at G2 Crowd and you look up something like sales coaching, you're going to see literally like every vendor in the space, honestly. And all of them are really great solutions. I know a lot of them from over the years, and they have great data, intelligent insight that I am sure you would love to be coaching on, that you want in the hands of your managers or reps. But what we're doing is we're stepping back and asking about the problems that leaders and managers face. Like, how do they know? How does a company know? How does a leader know that their managers are coaching consistently? And is that coaching measurable? How do you take all of these platforms that's in your tech stack, and then how do you make them work together for the benefit of the employee? I mean, heck, I'd love to even solve the problem. It's like, how do I remember how to log into all these different things that my company's bought and I'm supposed to use to coach my team? And I think this is an example of this is evidenced in our recent Gong partnership and announcement. Working with a great partner like Gong is like, how can we bring the revenue intelligence, the insight and data in Gong inside of the coaching moment that's hosted inside of Ambition? And that's going to make that interaction between the manager and employee all the more better.
Absolutely. And so, like, going to the gaps of where, the problems of people leave managers and coaching is your biggest lever. Well, when I think about gaps, if you go to the next slide, the biggest gap at the end of the day is managers, frontline managers are incredibly overlooked and overwhelmed, and nobody seems to be talking about it. Like right now, I feel like the state of the industry in general, there's so much focus on how can we drive maximum output from, your frontline reps. There's so much focus around how can we leverage AI and ML to automate as much as we possibly can. But at the end of the day, like what I feel like is missing, and Butler and I and everybody, we talk about this so much in Ambition, is like, how can we serve managers better? How can we help transform them from managers into coaches? Because the reality is, the manager today, the average manager, 7+ reports at least. They have, Butler talking about logins. They have a dozen systems that they're needing to log into and try and collate in their brain every single day to have these data informed conversations and decisions. Because the reality is every manager is now expected to be a data-driven leader. What's so funny about that is I have friends that go to, they go get degrees to become data-driven thinkers. And yet we expect every single manager today to be magically a data-driven thinker and data-driven leader. So that's a huge gap, of course, that Butler is obsessing about every single day in terms of focusing on and solving. But yeah, as what he was just saying, it's a huge opportunity for us. And what I get really excited about when I see opportunity and ambition.
Yeah, and our employees, they're undercoached. When we all have goals we're trying to hit, we have revenue numbers we're trying to hit, we KPIs we're trying to hit, and when you get towards the end of the quarter or the end of the month, like the thing that typically gets set aside is, hey, can I move the one-on-one? And then you intend to have it a few days later and you'll forget. And if the employee is the highest leverage asset in the company, like they're the ones out there doing the work, then we need to make sure that we are consistent with our coaching. And not only that, we need to measure that coaching to make sure it's having the effect that we need it to have. And I believe that software and ambition in particular are very well suited to begin asking and answering these questions. Managers do a lot of, in my experience, they do a lot of like telling, and especially in this data-driven society, it's like they'll log in a platform and point to the data, a gap that some dashboard sees, and you may talk about it. But to me, that's not really coaching. That's not investing personally in your direct report. That's not developing them. That's like a short-term solution when you really want a long-term gain. And what has to change is that we have to make it about the coaching. We have to make it about the manager-employee interaction. We have to make it about the coaching moment. We need them to be consistent and measurable, and maybe more importantly, empathetic. It really has to be about two people getting together and helping each other grow.
Absolutely. And, Butler, talking about moving one-on-ones, and unfortunately, I can speak from experience being on, being the perpetrator of this. There's no greater domino effect than when something happens and you move a one-on-one, and then you end up having to move it again, and then you push to next week. And then you're just like, wow, I have gone how many days, if not weeks, not developing this employee. Like that's the most important thing that I can do if we're going to scale this business. And here I am being just as much a part of the problem. And so I'm glad you pointed that out. And so another thing that's crazy to me is, as the market in general, I feel like is missing this ability to help managers be better coaches. It's a big gap. Nobody's talking about the frontline sellers. Well, what's crazy to me is the biggest company, effectively the biggest SaaS company in the world today, Salesforce, it's a gap with them too. They're missing it. Sales management does not exist in CRM. Like CRM is where your sales activity lives. You can certainly run reports and look at pipeline, but fundamentally there is such a huge gap there in regard to, like, when I go to CRM, I can see what happened, but I'm not coaching within it in terms of like, it's helping guide me. It's helping me ask the right questions. It's helping kind of bubble up the right insights. And I think that, again, when we think about gaps and when we think about opportunities here, this to me is honestly probably the biggest opportunity for Ambition and others is the fact that sales management, in my opinion, fundamentally doesn't exist in CRM. And I think that when I think about the next 10 years, we've gotten really good at, the where, which is CRM, where sales activity lives. We've gotten really good at what happened, the Tableau, being able to kind of give you some of these insights. We've gotten really good at how you get sales activity into CRM, which is, like the engagement tools, the acceleration tools. But fundamentally, why employees are getting better, why are they are driving quantity and quality, why they are sticking around at your company. Well, all of that drives into sales management, which again, like is a huge white space area and something that we're going to talk more about with rep performance management. So we're leading this movement, which is very much this emerging trend, RPM, rep performance management. We're investing in it. We just raised, for those that don't know, we just raised our most significant funding round to date. We are scaling the company with dozens and dozens of jobs opening. We're thinking about this from the bottom up and the top down. We are excited to come out with incredible partners like Gong and basically say, when it comes to driving revenue, which is the name of the game for just about everybody out there, when it comes to driving revenue and when it comes to rep performance management, when it comes to literally think about those words, like the performance management of a rep, I don't think there's anything more important. And we can't be, as a company, more excited about driving this forward. And again, Butler, I can't wait for you to talk more about the pillars of this, as we've been thinking about this now for months and quarters in regard to what that actually means.
Yeah, man, Travis, I could not agree more with what you said. It's one of the, what's that old adage, if we're wrong, I don't want to be right. Because like I believe so strongly in what we're talking about and what we want to do for our customers. Look, it's hard. It's getting harder for your managers to manage, right? We're all in a hybrid workforce. You have remote employees, some in office employees. You don't know when they're there, when they're not. You got to figure out how to make all this work. You got like 12 different platforms everybody's telling you need to coach in, or that you need to go look at these data-driven insights in, and the managers need help. And I think, I know that Ambition is the right software, and what we're building is going to be the right solution for our customers to help them with that problem. I remember when I started, I have the good fortune of being good friends with Craig Rosenberg, formerly of Topo. He's at Gartner now. And I was telling him about what I want to do. And a lot of this would come up in the vision about bringing these platforms together and then what we can do with the data to really make coaching measurable. And we were kicking around this idea of like rep performance, which is different, a little bit different from sales performance. It's not all about spiffs and et cetera. This is, again, really about the manager-employee interaction, making sure that that's happening, making sure that this is effective, making sure that we can see the results of that. And if we can't, then kind of look at the data and say, well, there's room here for improvement. And then how can we put those employees back into another program to make them become effective, to help them hit their goals, and ultimately to retain that employee, because it costs a lot when employees leave. You have to bring someone in new and you have to train them. So the more you can invest in keep current employees and have them hit their goals, I think the better everyone is overall.
Absolutely. And yeah, Butler, if you wouldn't mind, let's dig into the pillars and then kind of how you see the platform and product kind of playing out in the year to come. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Man, the mission team's probably heard me talk about this ad nauseum. I like to think in terms of value centers, if you will. Pillars, probably more common nomenclature. And I think of these 4 pillars when I think about rep performance management. I think about accountability, encouragement, coaching, and amplification. And I'll unpack those a little bit. Accountability. One of the great things that I love about Ambition is the comprehensive scorecard. Okay. And the reason I make it a point to call that out is it's not just pointing to one activity that you got to hit. It's comprehensive. It looks at whatever's most meaningful to you, both in terms of activities you want to generate and objectives you want to hit, and then it scores it. And it's a way for you to look at your teams in a more normalized way. And accountability is essential to reaching whatever goal you're setting out. If speaking to me personally, COVID packed on the COVID-20, I want to lose 15 pounds. Like, I need to set targets where I'm going to walk daily for 7,000 steps for X amount of time, right? And so I have to have those daily activity targets in order to hit my long-term objective. And with Ambition, you have the scorecard, you get historical metrics over time, and it's transparent, like everybody on the team can see how you're doing against your goals, and then you get that kind of a peer accountability. So I think accountability is absolutely core to rep performance management. Encouragement. When I think about new leaders, new managers, I think about the important dimensions of coaching an employee: accountability and encouragement. And where I see a lot of new managers go wrong is they'll lean heavily into one or the other. Or leaning into accountability can come across as micromanaging, or maybe you're overly encouraging and recognizing and praising, but you're not holding your direct report accountable. And you really got to find the right balance between the two. And so, I think a great way to do accountability is through a metrics-based scorecard. And then a great way to encourage is to have those measures reported to you, and then praise people when you see them hit their goals or when they're on the way to hitting their targets. And, you learn over the years that people are encouraged in different ways. Some people are very encouraged by the idea of the competition or being at the top of a leaderboard. Some people are very encouraged by the note coming in from the VP that their boss reports to and say, hey, I understand you're on target to hit your goals for the month. I'm really excited. I'm really glad you're here. And some people just get encouraged by knowing that they're on track to do their personal best. And ambition, this is built into our software to account for these types of personalities and how they like to achieve and how they like to be encouraged. But you got to be very careful. Encouraging your employees is often overlooked. And so automating this to some degree is really, really helpful.
Hey, Butler, real quick, speaking of encouragement and recognition on the back end of that, I just wanted to give a shout out to Ambition customer, Ambition partner, Ambition friend, World Series champions, Atlanta Braves on the call. So speaking of encouragement, love what y'all been doing with the platform from day one, and could not be more thrilled for y'all to be here today and for y'all to be alongside us for the long term. So look, I'm not going to take credit for the World Series, but we might have played a little bit of a part in it.
Go Braves. I know my dad was, I think he contacted me on every channel I had available. I didn't even know he knew how to text, but I got to go Braves. And coaching's at the heart of this. We've talked a lot about that since we started in this part of the summit. But look, all the software in the world is great. And, there's a proliferation of software and everybody seems they can solve your problem. But, when I think about my own successes in life, it's been people that mattered. It's been people who would sit me down, that would hold me accountable, who encouraged me, mentored me, and coached me into getting better. And there's a nuance there that I bet you'll never see in the data, that can only be transferred by someone who's been there, done that, seen it 1,000 times, and that they can transfer that learning to you. And I think that's where employees become better and better and better and grow, and companies really begin to hit their stride. All right. And then the last pillar is amplification. And this is really the power of software, in my opinion. It's not to rob the human and human interaction or take it away or replace it. Is to amplify your efforts, right? And one way that we know that ambition can amplify in a company is by automating a lot of the recognition, automating a lot of the encouragement, and automating effectively the culture, right? And this is so important now that everybody works from everywhere, right? So you're probably leveraging something like Ambition for Slack or Ambition for Microsoft Teams, where this automated recognition and automated accountability can go out, and everyone starts replying and liking, and then that creates like a spirit of camaraderie and culture. So those are my 4 pillars for rep performance management: accountability, encouragement, coaching, and amplification.
Love it. Thank you. And now let's get into probably what most people would think to be the main event, talking about product roadmap.
Yeah, man, I'll just keep going. I should have brought another coffee in. As I think about the future of ambition, and I think about what we've been working towards building over the last 11 months, I think about two core areas, core problems, if you will, that I want to solve for our customers. The first one is this proliferation of software problem that I've talked about throughout this presentation. Again, good friends with many vendors in the space. I love what a lot of the vendors are doing, love what a lot of platforms provide, hugely valuable. But then you're left again with 10 or 12 different platforms you got to log into and figure out what to use and how to use it. And our goal is to go out and work with all of them, right? And say, like, we host this coaching moment. We want to bring your data, insight, and intelligence into the Ambition platform. We want to increase the utilization of what you offer for the benefit of our mutual customers and for the benefit of the manager-employee coaching moment. And we're having a lot of success. We just announced a Gong partnership, talking to Leslie and Seismic. And if you're a vendor out there and you're keen on this, please reach out to us. The other big problem we want to tackle is around measuring how effective coaching is. This is lovingly been coined the graph here at Ambition. And whether we mean a visual graph or some kind of suggestion or recommendation graph, it is important. Ambition today accurately records the historical measures that you tell us are most important through your scorecard. And so we have all your historical activity measures, we have all your objective measures, and we should be able to tell you if, I was watching chat there, maybe smile. We can tell you if coaching is effective if you're doing coaching in Ambition, right? And so how can we look at how a employee's behavior has changed or how they have progressed towards hitting their targets or hitting their goals over time? And then eventually, how can we suggest or make recommendations of where you might improve? So I got two examples. One example, I'll just use our friends from Gong. It's like if you're using an Ambition check-in and using our agendas and you're leveraging the Gong integration, so you have the Gong call recordings inside of Ambition, we can really begin to ask and answer interesting questions like, I've coached this rep 6 times, 6 consecutive weeks with this agenda that included these types of calls, and which reps responded to it, which ones still need improvement, and what should I do about it? So that really excites me as I think about hard problems to go solve. If we look at the next slide, like a specific example to make it a bit more concrete, would be to think about if onboarding programs or any program in general were effective or not, right? And so if you are leveraging programs in Ambition, they basically encapsulate a series of check-ins. And then so during that program, you know when check-ins were had, you know when goals were set, you know how people progress towards their targets, towards their goals. And on the other side of it, you can get clarity as to which employees responded well to that program and are ready to graduate, and which employees might need some remediation to go into another program, or maybe they have another way in which they need to digest and synthesize the content. So really excited to solve these two big pains over the next year. Some other stuff that I just want to highlight, because I think it's important, we have to play well with other platforms. And as a product leader, I'm always thinking about, like, how can I make someone's life easier? I think that's the true measure of value. Like if I can improve your quality of life in some way, I've really done my job. And really excited about launching our coaching data API so that our customers can get information out of Ambition in a very programmatic way. So you may be a manager, an admin, or product owner right now who spends more time than I am proud of exporting data out of Ambition and putting it into another tool like Domo or Tableau. And we want to make that pain go away. And so we're going to be releasing a series of APIs in the next few months. The first one being the coaching data API. so that our customers can programmatically reach into Ambition, pull the data out, put it where they need it to go, and get the insights that are important to their company. Okay, and then my final two slides here are really vision slides for where we're headed. We do a great job of measuring the employee. Right now, we do a great job of measuring teams and their progress towards their targets and goals, and their daily measures of activities and if they're achieving their objectives. But I really want to get this, especially in partnership with some of the platforms like Gong and Listenly out there, of like having this manager scorecard. Travis, I believe, you often talk about the manager playbook, but how can you effectively codify in a scorecard what you want your managers to be doing in order to make sure that they're coaching their direct reports and their employees effectively? And so you'll start to see us adapt the manager dashboard so that you have more insight into the activities your managers need to be doing to ensure that they are coaching their direct reports and that they are leveraging the other platforms and data that they need to be coaching on.
Long time coming there, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't care what we call it. It is a long time coming.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. And then, the ultimate vision here is for us to be able to like reach into our data. We're tracking everything. It's pretty obvious, right? If you think back at the graph, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like if you have the historical trends, if you have those trends versus a target and versus a goal, and when the check-ins are happening, when you look at competition, like it's a no-brainer. We should be able to tell you like not only what's happening, but what we think will happen if you stay on this course, and then make recommendations and suggestions of how you might change course or leverage other tools inside of Ambition in order to help your teams hit the goals you'll set out to achieve.
Love it. Well, Butler, I think that wraps up the product roadmap for today. I really, really appreciate it. And before we get to the fireside chat, which I'm really excited about, I just wanted to share with you all Ambition's company vision for those that don't know. And it's partially inspired by, interestingly enough, LinkedIn. I remember reading LinkedIn's vision statement almost 10 years ago and being really inspired by it, because their vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce, which you wouldn't necessarily think that LinkedIn is doing that. But on reflection, at least my own personal reflection, it was like, wow, like that, there's certainly a lot of truth and some incredible value there. And that's always kind of stuck with me. And so with Ambition, what's so exciting about what we're doing and kind of these shifts in the world with, I guess you could call it some of the silver linings of COVID in regard to ushering in a more flexible, more distributed world, is that we get really excited about, at the end of the day, being able to help create a world where companies operate effectively and successfully, regardless of where their employees are. Employees are being the best versions of themselves. They're being developed into successful reps and future leaders. Managers are being transformed into incredible coaches, and that can happen through software, that can happen digitally, it can happen through Zoom, and maybe not the entire time, maybe it's a hybrid, but still being able to kind of live more in that world. And what that gets, what's so exciting to me about that is it's kind of this next evolution of LinkedIn. This will create more economic opportunity and equality and flexibility for more people when we live in a world where Ambition can say, we can take all of the pain, the fear out of coaching and developing reps and helping managers be great coaches regardless of where they are. And so I just wanted to share that with you to hopefully ground everything we've talked about, the gaps, the product roadmap, the pains and gains in regard to what it is we're doing, which is very much this, which is something that I think we have as good of a shot as any in driving this impact. So wanted to share that with you. And now, really exciting, because you don't have to just hear from Butler and I anymore, is I'd like to welcome Donna Sanborn, Senior Manager of Global Digital Sales Effectiveness at Cisco. Think about that for a second. Think about Cisco being the venerable, preeminent company that they are. And here we have Donna, who literally thinks about sales effectiveness at a global digital scale every single day, which is quite the daunting task, but we're excited to kind of pick her brain about what that means, what she thinks, and what she's excited about moving forward. Donna, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I am always thrilled to hang and have a great conversation with brilliant minds in the industry. So I appreciate you having me.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you end up where you are today?
So I actually run, like you said, digital sales effectiveness for a very small sales organization within Cisco of 1,500 virtual sellers worldwide. So we're just a blip on the radar when it comes to actual sales teams within Cisco. And, it's funny enough, I actually ended up here by getting recruited from sales reps, right? So sellers that I worked with at previous companies started knocking on my door saying, we need you at Cisco, please apply for this role. We really need you here. And, it's been an awesome challenge so far.
I love it. And I got to ask, because, before this, when we were doing our prep, you and Butler, it seems like you have quite kind of the past. How do you know Butler?
Yes, so we have worked together, I don't even know, for many, many years in previous roles, right? So same type of relationship where I've been the customer and we have just had great conversations around what's needed and, talking through future roadmaps and pains. So it's been great. It's so funny because we had been having conversations about conversation intelligence a long time ago before we really even knew how to harness conversation intelligence, right? So just to see where it's come, and now congratulations on the partnership with Gong, to see that you guys are still, or the conversation intelligence is still a huge part of the day-to-day. It's awesome. So.
Of course.
And then Travis, I remember not long after I joined Ambition and started to wrap my head around not only what we've been creating, but where I thought we could take this. And I remember I was driving back home to Georgia. I was living in Georgia at the time, and I called Donna. I was like, I got to tell you about all this stuff. You've always been a great friend and someone I could bounce ideas off of. I really appreciate it. So thank you for joining us today. And one of the reasons I wanted to ask you on is to really understand what are some of the challenges that you're feeling that kind of brought you to this moment where you're thinking a lot about coaching programs and rep performance management.
Yeah, well, I think throughout my tenure, my career, I have seen such an evolution of sales coaching, right? I think it's really historically been based on seller intuition and manager perception, right? And like you mentioned earlier, right, we've always been able to build out kind of dashboards. We've always been able to look at CRM data. But again, that's really been based on the data that can be entered. And it hasn't really driven the performance like you would hope. And Butler, earlier you had mentioned the piece around sales tech and how everyone has a little piece of coaching. Everyone offers a little bit of coaching. We've struggled, my teams have throughout the years have also struggled with that as well. No one really owns that coaching space. And it's really left my teams with a hodgepodge of dashboards or a hodgepodge of different places to log in and try to figure out how to provide value. And it's been confusing, right, to figure it out. It also drives confusion for our customers, our sales leaders as well. And so I think now with the evolution of this technology, with the partnerships that companies like Ambition are driving, now we can really start to focus on the true data-driven coaching. And working with the leaders within Cisco, it's top of mind, right? One of their biggest priorities at this point is clear visibility across the organization for leaders and sellers alike, and the ability to easily and quickly drive performance with these data.
Thank you. Why now at Cisco? What is there a compelling reason as to why this is a huge effort now?
Well, we're in the earliest stages.
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, we're just really starting to build out the coaching program and some leaderboards with ambition, just testing within the Americas, and then obviously to really analyze globally. But with the move to a hybrid working experience, like it's more important than ever to make those connections deeper with data when it comes to the leadership.
Yeah, I agree. I've spent the better part of 5 years thinking about the space, and as you said earlier, like you and I first met, we were talking a lot about conversation intelligence. Any thoughts around your current thoughts on like machine learning and what we might do with data science, or what businesses and companies or Cisco needs companies like Ambition to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always, it's not new, right? Machine learning, AI is not new, but I think now more than ever, we're really seeing companies harness the power and build it in a way that is easily accessible to all users. We're seeing a lot of amazing functionality, quite frankly. So I think the ability to take the real data around conversation analytics, the sentiment data, the true kind of predictive analytics of where sellers should be focusing their time, we're able to see that shift away from that intuition-based approach. And really that's what we need, right? We need to take a step back from that intuition or perception-based approach and really see the true rep reality, right? What's actually happening within these deals. And if there's a miss, right? If a seller isn't understanding where there could be a miss, then a leader should be able to then, come in and help get through that. So it's really, it's a huge piece. The other thing I think we really have to continue to focus on, which you guys have covered perfectly on this call, is integrations and partnerships. I think more companies now than ever are realizing what you've known for a long time, Butler, and that's the ecosystem wins mentality. That the partnerships and the deep integrations across the board really help people like me and teams like mine to deliver true value, because we're eliminating that drag of the 12 plus systems sellers and leaders have to log into.
Yeah, if there's one pain I wish I could just take away from people tomorrow, it's that one, right? It's how do I use all these things? I believe what all these things do, but how do I use them, and how do I use them together and effectively?
Yeah, me too.
I think everybody can agree to that. Even going back to managers having a dozen systems today. Donna, I got a hardball question for you. I'm curious.
Okay.
What your role in this fast-paced world, everything going on, what keeps you up at night?
Good question. Not to sound repetitive, but it truly is internal drag and the complexity of tech stacks. Gartner says average, right? Teams are using around 12 tools, and they suggest that we decrease. At Cisco, we have found that sellers have to access 30 to 50 tools individually, right? And so
Wild.
what do we take away? How can we peel away the confusion? And, what do we need to focus on? And I guess the biggest things that I think through are we doing more harm than good? Is all of this change doing more harm than good? And are we ultimately moving fast enough?
Yeah, great answer. I mean, I think that is the challenge. That's the crux, fundamentally for us, for you, for everybody. I appreciate that.
I think it's the philosophical challenge of I don't want to go too deep here, of like SaaS in general, right? Like in the proliferation, fragmentation of software, like everyone gets specialized, and all of a sudden, like you need some type of simplification. or at least a coming together. Yeah, that was, thank you for sharing that.
I know to put on my Jamie Bradley hat, I think we're at time. I don't know if we want to do any QAs or, oh, sorry, actually we have some more time. I was going to say, I wanted to make sure there was time for QA, but it looks like we've got some time. So Butler, any other questions you wanted to ask Donna before we maybe opened it up?
No, I'd love to open up to the audience, but I do want to give a heartfelt thank you to Donna, because I often say, like, I can only be as good as the people who advise me. I mean, maybe this plays into the whole coaching theme that I have going on here, but you've been a dear friend and advisor for a long time. And a lot of this vision came me driving down the road, talking to you and thinking about solving problems on your behalf. And certainly a lot of my success at SalesLoft came from a lot of conversations I had with you. So thank you very much. And thanks for doing this with us.
Absolutely. This is my favorite thing to talk about. I always say that too. This is my favorite thing to talk about. So always count me in for these conversations.
Awesome.
We will hold you to that, Donna. Great.
It was always dangerous for a head of product to open up for Q&A, but let's see what we get.
Yeah, hopeful. Anybody, again, chat them in, whether Slack or here in Zoom. But as I mentioned in Slack, we are open books. We would love to answer any and all questions. And if everybody's being shy, we can keep talking about rep performance management and Cisco. And Donna, you can put us on the hot seat.
Yeah, Donna, shoot. Give Travis and Butler some questions.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is a lot of pressure. Oh gosh, let's see here. I would like to understand some of the biggest challenges you faced over the past year, adjusting for your customers.
Yeah. Okay. Great question. I think that ambition, so specifically with customers and kind of changing some reference points, ambition pre-COVID, one of our most popular and effective mediums was the TV. And then, and it's funny because we updated our packaging literally like weeks before COVID became very real last spring, and kind of this marquee package was this light TV package to get up and running. And then everybody is now out of office, of which there's still a significant amount of the population that is still remaining out of office and might not ever go back to the office. And so the Ambition TV that a lot of people bought, or a lot of people at least loved, became relatively less impactful. And so I think that's scary, but I think what has really helped us focus on and helped me focus on is like needing to drive a much better, candidly, experience within the core product, needing from a dashboard standpoint, from a like trigger workflow standpoint, even from a kind of a future mobile push notification standpoint, from an integration standpoint, how do we get really, really good at driving a more core in-app experience? So off the top of my head, I think that's a great question. That's something that I think a lot about in that, and then just in general, what does it mean to be a digital first manager and a digital first employee? That's no longer the exception, that's the rule. And how do we try and strip everything back and say, okay, what if we were starting Ambition today from scratch? What would we do differently? And then what opportunities do we have to do something differently? And I think that's also been something that, bringing in fresh eyes like Butler has been really inspirational in that regard. I was kind of telling that to Butler during the interview process. Hey, in this new world, don't think about what we've built for 7 years. Think about what you want to build in the next 7. What does that look like? And so, Butler, I don't know if you want to elaborate any more on that.
Yeah, I got a few points. And then while I'm answering, Don, if you want to look at the chat, I think there's a question, if you're up for it, we may ask you to take a look at, but I want to this will give you a little warm up time. That two things for me is, and I don't know that was caused by, whatever was going to pandemic and the shift, but it's fundamental things I'm seeing in product. It's enterprise. I mean, Ambitions had the great fortune of serving huge Fortune 500 customers for a long time, but there's a shift to people wanting all their platforms to have a more kind of commercial experience. You get used to the apps you love and the way that they interact with you. And so then how do you achieve a big vision like this, but also take what you've provided for customers for so long and adapt it to a changing climate in that way. And then in that way, the hybrid workforce and remote teams just play a role in that. The proliferation of Slack and Teams and WebEx and Zoom and whatever, right? Then how does your software play well with those new environments is certainly a challenge. And, how much do you invest towards net new vision versus current customers' real pains and challenges as they learn to work in this new environment? Mari, I saw a question come through from Jacob.
Yeah.
Do you have time for that?
Yeah, I can field some of these questions impromptu. So Donna, what new challenges do you specifically see enterprise sales team facing as we head back into hybrid offices? Is Cisco back full time?
We actually aren't. In the US, we are all completely working from home still. There are some countries that are back in the office. So yeah, that is a massive challenge across the board for sales teams. Our leaders are saying, help us build that environment with the gongs and the celebrations and just that sales floor environment when some are in, some are out. So that's a big challenge that I'm hearing from our sales leaders, and why we're obviously moving quickly with building out a pilot with Ambition. As far as other challenges, really, I think a deeper challenge when it comes to coaching specifically at Cisco has really been just the correlation of coaching success. And I think what was brought up today was so powerful, looking at how we can start to correlate not only the sales performance back to the coaching, but also holding the leaders accountable for the coaching that they are doing. So all in all, the challenges are probably very similar regardless of the size of the company.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks, Donna.
Yeah, thank you. The next question that came in, how do you prioritize the things you want to do with the product, sales, customers, and industry trends?
Yeah, I was sitting here, hoping the time would run out on the clock. It's like I kind of wanted to kneel and win the game, but
I've got my answer. I'll go first. I make Butler decide.
You hired me. Being on the hot seat. So I like to think a pretty sophisticated framework, which I use that Travis is very familiar with. And all of our customers have goals, and we certainly have goals with Ambition because we're a business that provides livelihoods for many people. And you have to marry those two, and quarter over quarter and year over year, you look at it and you say, what do we need to do first to take care of our current customers? First and foremost, top of my framework. What do they need? What are their pains? What are their problems? And how much can we invest in that relative to a trade-off towards achieving a new vision in the future? And in SaaS especially, you have only about a 30 to 60 day window of changing winds that you're navigating. And so you have to rely on this framework. And effectively, for me, it goes customer renewal, customer pains, user experience. Are the sales team, are they hitting any blockers? Is our mission and vision resonating? And if it's not, then what needs to be true? What we've not done in the product to help make that true? And so it's really like it's pretty quantitative, but then I'm also a pretty old school guy. Just shaved my white beard also. Maybe I look a little younger today. But I got a lot of legal pads and sketching out scenarios, and then what does it look like if we do this or that? what I typically do is build like 5 different scenarios. Like, hey, if we leaned in here, these are the pros, these are the cons, this is what we'll get, these are the trade-offs. And I'll make a recommendation to Travis, and then it falls back on him. He approves it, but more likely he challenges my assumptions, and that's how we arrive at it. I'm very focused on the customers and innovating on behalf of our customers.
And one thing I even wanted to add to that Ambition employees can certainly attest to, because they see it everywhere, every day, is Ambition charter. Is we have this 1-page charter that basically is what we use to say this is what we're going to do, and this is the 1 page we can operate off of in regard to trade-offs and decision making. And the 2 top strategies we have as a part of this charter is serve current customers well and invest in enterprise. And so, going into that question of, how do we prioritize? Well, this charter is kind of the vehicle for prioritization. And the top 2 things are invest in enterprise or serve current customers well, which, even speaking to serve current customers well, I mean, that is different from, go capture as much market share as possible. Like at this phase of our business, what we believe in is we want to serve our current customers as well as we possibly can, knowing that if we get really, really, really good at that, which it just so happens that Butler is really, 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 really good at that, and that's going to pay enormous dividends in the future. And then enterprise from, we're very fortunate to work with companies like FedEx and ADP and Cisco. And, there's as we've learned every day for the last 7 years, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities and a lot of needs kind of working with those bigger customers, whether it's, granular permissions or just data load. And so, yeah, I think that I just wanted to add that context in terms of the lens of how we think about sales, customers, and industry trends.
That's great. I'm going to have Donna bring us home. I have one more question. So the world is fast paced. I mean, to be a Fortune 500 company, Travis said this before, in the old days, you were a Fortune 500 company for 40 years. And now things just move so fast and people are so competitive. And maybe you're only a Fortune 500 company for 10, 15 years. So how does Cisco stay on the cutting edge just to make sure that you guys are staying at the top of your game?
Yeah, good question. So, I think a lot of us get that shiny tool syndrome. And I think we have to combat against that, right? Just heard of something new, let's toss it in, let's see where we can fit these products, right? And I think ultimately, in order to stay on the cutting edge, you do have to take a step back and you have to master the basics, right? Having strong connections with sales leadership, strong connections to a sales process in motion, and then support that sales process in motion with technology. If you don't have those key pieces, there is no way that you can become cutting edge with technology, right? And I think that's really it, is just dialing it back to the basics. In the bigger of the companies, as I've grown through my career and the larger responsibilities that I have, the more I realize how much I have to focus just on the basics to stay at the top of our game.
Amazing.
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, team, we're at time. Thank you so much, Travis, Butler, and Donna. That was an amazing conversation. I'm not sure, Jamie might be popping back on to give us instructions for what to do next, but
There she is.
thank you again.
Always waiting in the
everybody.
wings. Thank you so much. That was absolutely fantastic. I learned a lot, and it's always great to see you again, Donna. Thank you for sharing those insights with us. All right, so last session of the day. It's I wouldn't say we saved the best for last, but we saved a good one, saved a pretty good one. So next up is our keynote. Beck Holland, she's going to be presenting, I don't want to get this wrong. It's a very spicy title. 2 toxic patterns 99.9% of sellers are using that cripple your pipeline and conversion, and how to avoid them. So it's going to be really tactical, data-driven, super fun, and instructional. She always brings the heat. So stick around if you can. Join us in the Slack channel. I dropped it in the chat there. And actually, I'll drop the link to join the Beck session if you want to do that too. But thank you so much. And again, thank you so much to Travis, Butler, Donna, and Mari for putting this great conversation together.
Hi,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all.